This time the quick speed shot, my friend gave me this awesome hot rod. Let's check it out. It's a 1940 Mercury two-door sedan. Check this thing out. Tom built the whole thing. It's my friend Tom. He built the whole thing and it's awesome. Let's check it out.
This car came out of a junkyard in 1998. I spent about 8 years of my part-time, 8 years of my spare time making a hot rod out of it. It was totally body off. The frame's been modified with a Mustang 2 front end and a narrowed forward 8-inch differential. It's got a Chevrolet Corvette 350 in it with tri-power and a GTO 4-speed T10 transmission. I've driven it to the point where I just don't want to drive it anymore, so I gave it to Josh.
It's the best present I ever got.
It needs a lot of work at this stage. The clutch is slipping, the differential, one of the welds is cracked. It'll keep them busy for a while.
I'm gonna fix the mechanicals and drive it just like this. I saw this car in 2006 or 7?
Yeah, 2006 when I first got it on the road.
I remember it driving into the car show, and I ran right over it and I had to see it. You never see any Mercuries, and this thing was badass with the black with the yellow flames. I ran right over. I still remember it like it's tomorrow or yesterday.
Yeah, that was the first time I met Josh. You know, he was pretty much just a kid at the time. He was really excited about this car. And as I got to know him over the years, at some point, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, I decided when I was finally done with it, he was going to be the new owner. And seeing as couldn't sell it to him with a good conscience because it needs so much work, I just gave it to him. So anyway, he should have fun with it.
So here we are. Am I in the shot? I am in the shot. So I'm gonna be tinkering around with it. It's gonna be a future project car here, but it's on the road right now. We just drove it here like 20 minutes to get it here, and I'm gonna be tinkering around with it and fixing it up, and it's gonna be an awesome cruiser. So I gotta take Tom back to his house, but I'll do a little bit of walk around on this when I get back here in a minute. Thanks, Tom.
There you go.
Look at this. There's light.
It'd probably fire right up.
How's the clutch feeling? How's the clutch feeling?
Any free travel, Tom?
I'll tell you what, this thing is badass. Look how low this is. Bam, look, I can barely... That's one work boot off the ground. This thing is low. So what we got here is a 1940 Mercury. Two-door sedan, super rare car. 39 to 40 Mercurys are similar to Fords, except they're a little bit different body-wise. And very popular with the customizers back in the day, especially the coupes. You'd see tons of 39 to 40 Mercury custom coupes. All back in the day, they'd chop them, hard top them, make all kinds of tail draggers in the late 40s and early 50s. My friend Tom pulled this out of a junkyard like in 98 or so. It was a blue two-door sedan, all original, and he rebuilt the whole thing. It's got a Mustang 2 suspension cut out of a real Mustang 2 that he bought. It's got 8-inch Ford rear end, I think out of the same Mustang. 39 Ford aftermarket style headlights on here. He made the 40 Mercury style grill. His original grill was broke, but he built this whole thing in 8 years in his home garage in his spare time. I'm not sure how far it's chopped. It looks about 6 inches, but he did the paint, the flames, the whole 9 yards on this thing. It's freaking awesome. It's Pro Street. It's got 8-inch Ford rear end on coilovers with a 4-link and the Mustang 2 front end. Let's take a look under the hood. Now check this out. This is a, I think he said mid to late 70s Corvette 350. He's got a Offenhauser 3-deuce intake on it, running 3 Rochester 2 jets, and this is set up for active tri-power works. It's got the fuel mixture in the center one, then just outside plates on a variable linkage, or a progressive linkage I should say, so you're running on the center carburetor until you whack the throttle and it runs all 6 barrels. So he's got it all dressed up here with Edelbrock valve covers. The car has air conditioning, manual steering, power brakes, and it's pretty cool. He smoothed all the firewall on it here. It's dressed up pretty nice here under the hood. Real nice red interior that Tom also did. I think it's a Glide Engineering seat. This is like a 1950 or so, I think he said Buick steering wheel. He bought it at a swap meet out in the Midwest. It was hanging in the shed for years and years and years. This is an original condition wheel, hardly any cracks in it. It's probably a $200 to $300 wheel nowadays. I think he paid $40 for it at some swap meet. But he customized the original Mercury dash. It's got some newer gauges in it. It's got a 4-speed. The thing's awesome. I just took it for a little spin, and you can definitely tell it's chopped when you're running this thing because you barely got any windshield to look out of, but this thing is a mean looking car going down the road. I know it's a little hard to see in here, but he built this monster stereo system back here with 3 amps, or 3 amps and 3 subs in there. It's kicking system. I'm probably going to be taking that all out because I'm not a big stereo guy, and I'm going to be putting a rear seat in this so I can have some passengers, but I'm going to be returning all that stuff to Tom since he spent a lot of money on the stereo system. Look at the rear of this thing. We got some big old monster meats on the back here. Got Weld drag light wheels. We got a Mickey Thompson Sportsman's. Exhaust is kicking out here. Of course, with a Mercury, you get the smaller wheel wall opening than you would with a Ford sedan of the same era. So this is custom. All molded in fenders, molded in smooth drip rails and everything. He molded this whole car. It's all molded together. Running boards, fenders, the whole 9 yards. Flush fit custom tail lights back here. And a 1940 New York State World State Fair plate on the back. So just look at this thing. Fire down the side. This thing is badass. So what do I want to do with this car? I can tell you, I want to drive the wheels off it. Like we said before, I saw this car in 2006 when it was brand new. He brought it into the cruise night. I ran right over and I met Tom, and we've been friends ever since then. But this is a very, very rare car, very unique car, very impressionable car that you're not going to see anywhere else around here. So I'm pretty much going to keep it like this. I love the paint scheme. I'm going to try to keep it intact as much as possible. What I am going to do is, we got some mechanical issues with the clutch. I got to play around with the clutch, work on that. And I'm not a big fan of the Pro Street look. I'm probably going to remove the Pro Street rear end and the right wide wheels and all that. And I'm probably going to put this thing back on parallel leafs in the rear and put it on the ground. I'm going to do this because the interior and everything else, I'm going to do this as a late 40s or probably early 50s style custom. So I'm going to leave the paint like this. I'm going to put it down on the ground in the back, leave it down on the ground in the front. I'm probably going to add bumpers back to the car, like probably 41 Ford bumpers, and do like a early 50s style custom. I think that'd be super cool. with the hood down, the car will be all 50s on the outside and the interior with the steering wheel and all that. It'll look like a period wild, like, you know, Southern California style custom from the early to mid 50s. So I think that's the direction I'm going to go with the car. It's a super badass car. It's super fun. It's super loud. It looks freaking real aggressive, real mean going down the road, and it's pretty awesome. And I can't thank Tom enough for building such an awesome car. And I'm glad I saw it all those years ago, and I can't believe that he let me have it now to be the caretaker of it into the foreseeable future. So this thing's a badass car, and I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Hit the bell for alerts. Tell your friends. And as always, we'll see you right back here at the Quick Speed Shop, hopefully with more badass Mercury sedan action.